Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
To be honest, he's not going to go very far in his career. And there is a good chance he's just saying things to sound impressive. He doesn't have much drive or the habit of working hard for something over time. So even if he talks big, you'll rarely see action behind those words. Don't expect him to rise fast at work or grab new opportunities.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's more likely to quietly pull away instead of facing the problem head on. He won't throw a tantrum or create drama, but he also won't fight hard to fix things. You may find yourself wishing he had more strength to stand back up and try again.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work will probably see him as quiet and distant instead of someone who starts fights. He doesn't cause trouble or get into arguments, but he also isn't very warm or understanding, so he may not make close friends or earn much respect. He usually keeps to himself and doesn't put much effort into connecting with others.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your own career, don't expect him to be your cheerleader. He probably won't feel proud or get excited for you, but he also won't make a scene or act out. Instead, he might just pull away and act uninterested, as if your success doesn't matter much to him.
What if you start earning more than him?
He's unlikely to openly resent you or act jealous if you earn more than him. Instead, he'll probably stay quiet and not share his real feelings, keeping things to himself. You may notice that he becomes more distant or avoids talking about money and work altogether.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He is likely careful with money and prefers things to be tidy and organized when it comes to his finances. You probably won't find him making random big purchases or wasting money just for fun. He likes to keep his spending under control and wants everything to be planned out.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives within his means and doesn't try to show off or pretend to be richer than he is. Flashy things and pretending don't matter much to him, and he prefers to keep things simple and manageable. If you're looking for someone who is sensible and not caught up in what others think, he fits that role.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's more on the tight side when it comes to both money and how he sees the world. He doesn't easily offer help or gifts and isn't the type who will go out of his way to make you feel special with surprises or kind gestures. If warmth and open heartedness matter to you, you might feel something is missing.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He isn't likely to be openly controlling, but he keeps a lot to himself and doesn't share much about money matters. He won't have loud fights or demand things go his way, but he might avoid talking about spending, saving, or financial plans altogether. This might leave you feeling left out or unsure about where things stand.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is not likely to step up and help much with housework and may see it as something you should manage. He prefers order and likes things done properly, but doesn't often take the lead himself or speak up when something needs to be done. If you leave chores undone, he'll probably get annoyed quietly or just pull away rather than offer to help or talk things through.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's more likely to watch from the side than roll up his sleeves and truly help. If he does anything, it will be small or only when you ask directly. Otherwise, he'll just keep an eye on how things are done and maybe point out if something's not right. Don't count on him to jump in with diapers or chores by himself.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He isn't someone who will argue just to prove he's right, but he also doesn't make much effort to truly understand your side. Most often, he'll quietly withdraw from the conversation or avoid it altogether instead of discussing things openly. He's not combative, but his lack of real interest can make you feel unheard and alone when you're hoping for understanding or teamwork.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he stays quiet rather than being rude or aggressive. He's not the sort to say hurtful things or raise his voice. Instead, he shuts down and pulls away from the situation. You may feel his coldness or distance, but you won't have to worry about him yelling or causing a scene.
Does he have a bad temper?
He's not the kind of man who gets angry very quickly. He usually keeps his feelings inside and avoids showing strong emotions even when upset. Instead of sudden outbursts, he becomes quiet and withdraws from the situation.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He's not likely to blame you openly or start arguments, but don't expect him to easily say sorry or take responsibility either. When something goes wrong, he tends to pull away or stay silent rather than admit his mistake or talk things through. You may end up feeling like problems are just swept under the rug with no real apology or effort to make things better.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he is likely to respect your boundaries and understand that no means no. He's not pushy or aggressive. And when you say no, he will pull back rather than try to change your mind or cross the line. He isn't the type to argue or force things when it comes to your comfort and decisions.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He is not likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of getting upset or feeling rejected, he will usually stay quiet and give you space. You won't find him sulking or trying to make you feel guilty for saying no.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care, and he is not the kind who would use them to hurt or embarrass you later. He keeps things to himself and doesn't bring up sensitive topics during arguments or to make you feel small. With him, your secrets stay safe, even if emotional closeness is sometimes missing.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful and not easily distracted by other women. His withdrawn and quiet nature means he doesn't go looking for attention or excitement elsewhere. You won't have to worry much about flirting or wandering eyes.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he is not over possessive, jealous, or controlling. He tends to keep to himself and doesn't get caught up in watching your every move or demanding to know where you are. He minds his own business, so you get your freedom, but sometimes you might wish he showed more interest or care.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature is not a sign of a controlling personality. In fact, he is not very protective or controlling at all. He prefers to keep his distance and does not try to manage your choices or decisions.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will likely expect you to do most of the parenting work rather than seeing it as a team effort. Even though he likes things to be orderly at home, he won't step up to share the load or take part in day to day care of the kids. He's unlikely to take the lead or work with you closely as a parenting team.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He doesn't explode or raise his voice. Instead, he becomes quiet or distant. Instead, he's more likely to withdraw and let you handle the situation.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is unlikely to actively support your role as both a mother and your own person. He tends to keep to himself, not offering much encouragement or praise for what you manage at home or outside. His support is mostly silent and passive, not active or enthusiastic.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
He is not the kind of man who will openly encourage your career and then suddenly ask you to quit once a child comes along. Instead, he is more likely to stay quiet and not get very involved in your choices, both before and after children. His style is to let things be and avoid difficult discussions.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to act polite on the surface rather than show real warmth to your parents. You can expect basic respect and formality, but don't count on him to build deep relationships or go out of his way to make them feel special and welcome. While he won't be rude, your parents will probably notice his distance and reserve. He is not likely to make much effort to adjust to your family, nor will he openly demand that they change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will usually handle it calmly by staying quiet and stepping back. He won't add to the drama or start arguments, but he also won't help solve the problem or stand up for you. His way is to avoid conflict, which can bring peace on the surface, but may leave you feeling alone to deal with family stress.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He is not likely to act differently with you just for show or demand a big change when relatives visit. Most of the time, he keeps to himself and doesn't push you to behave a certain way, whether modern or traditional. Any expectations will be more about keeping things smooth than personal control.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension with his family, he is most likely to stay out of it rather than support you or take their side. He doesn't enjoy conflict and prefers to avoid taking a stand, so you might find yourself handling the situation without much help from him. He won't openly argue against you or for his family, but his silence can feel lonely when you need backup.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He isn't likely to be a classic mummy's boy who always chooses his mother's side, but he's also not someone who will firmly take your side in a conflict. Instead, he tends to avoid getting involved altogether, staying quiet and stepping back rather than defending you or his mother. You might never see him openly argue with his mom, but don't expect him to stand strongly for you either.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not likely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He tends to keep things to himself and doesn't easily open up, even to family members. While this means your secrets are safe, it also means you may miss out on open discussions or support from him.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being in a relationship with this man means a life that feels peaceful on the surface, but quietly lonely underneath. He isn't demanding or harsh, and you'll have the freedom to do things your way without fights or drama.